and welcome to the channel and today's video. We are doing something a little bit different today, and Jake has given me the full rein to talk to you, which is nerve-wracking and scary. Excuse, smile quickly behind me. Today we are going on an adventure to a different country. Only Wales, not, you know, we're not travelling off too far at the moment because I don't think that's particularly safe. But we are heading to North Wales to go and have a look at something exciting, something that we have been thinking about for a little while, and that will potentially, if we hand over the money, will feature quite heavily on the channel through the next couple of months as we renovate and do it up a little bit, and then it will definitely be around in the summer, and hopefully for many summers to come as well.
Hopefully.
We haven't been to this specific part of North Wales before, but we have both been on holiday to Wales, so it's nice to go back, even just for an afternoon. Yeah, there's not really much more to say to it than that, other than we will show you what we have bought if we buy it. So it has been a week since we last spoke, and I am obviously no longer in the Renault, nor am I in Wales anymore. We are back at home because we have purchased something. The thing that we were going to look at last week was right, and we wanted to buy it, so we did, and this is our little caravan. So, this is our little caravan. It's currently needing some work and things doing to it, but let's just have a quick look. It's a, we believe, 1980s Trident Companion Caravan. It's very small, in fact, you know, Sandero. And if you take a walk back, it's not even as big as the Sandero. In fact, it's, I think Jake said, smaller than the Panda as well, which is quite entertaining. We have one large window on the front with some curtains and, of course, some fetching stickers. And slightly glittery white fiberglass paint as well, which we're not quite sure whether we're going to keep. The pink underside will be getting changed at some point, but it does look quite cute. I think it does look quite good. Here will be a window. This fell out on our way home, which was an interesting addition to the journey that was already quite stressful. Yeah, so we'll have a window here, and this one opens, and we are going to have another opening window to be over the kind of kitchen area, if you can call it that. Down here you've got a 12-volt plug and some things for the water It's not really my forte, I must say. And an electric plug there as well. And we're thinking of branding the caravan anyway, just putting some vinyl stickers and stuff on it, but a little specialist fuel power logo there as well, which would be quite cool. This is the back, another great big window, and you can just see the lovely pink interior as well from here. We've had another slight disaster with the number plate light, which didn't even work before we started, and the number plate and everything has been taken off so that the trailer board fitted to bring it home. The locks are going to be replaced. One didn't work and the other one fell out on the way home. There's a theme to this, slightly. As you can see, everywhere's just fairy orientated and just a bit grubby. Everything needs a good clean, which is the job for tomorrow as we are filming this. Then we've got another window here which we think we're going to replace because there's all sorts of creatures nesting inside it, and make it another opening window, because if we come around here and open open the rear door, this is a caravan. This is it. There's nothing more to it than that. You can see where we were sat last night, which is lovely. I need to learn to smooth those out. But we've got things to replace here. So this is the bit that holds the door up on the one side. The other side does work. But we're going to replace it with gas struts anyway. In here we've got a good bit of storage, making good use of the space. It's the same on this side as well. And then down here there is a little storage cabinet thing, cupboard. And then in here is quite possibly the world's most ancient gas stove, which is apparently safe to use, but we're not quite confident on that at the minute. And we are going to be changing and modernising slightly and updating some of the things in here cabinet wise. Underneath is a little bit of storage that we probably will make a bit better use of. And then on the other side over here there is the window that fell out, and some awning poles, because it came with an awning as well, which is cool. We haven't tried that yet, but it'll be interesting to see. In here is the electrics, which again we could make better use of, and once Jake's done a little bit of an update on it. This little button here is connected to the sink, this little button here is connected to the tap, which you can find goes into this lovely little sink. It's very charming, it's very sweet, if slightly shoddy. I think making use of it would be good, but yeah, everything just needs a little bit of modernising to just make it work a bit better for what we're going to use it for. And then there's a little bit more storage over here, just open shelves. There's lovely holes outside. Yeah, so there's just a little bit of space, and then again, like the other side underneath, it's a completely fiberglass shell, for want of a better word, and yeah, so it's easily adapted and that kind of thing. We've got a little bit of storage up here, and on the opposite side there's lights everywhere as well, and the previous owners put some hooks up, but we're going to change that and make some different ones. When you step inside, this is it. So you've got one side over here, and the cushions come off and make the bed, which I will show you in a second. But if we pull just that one off for now, you can see the colour difference in the carpet, and we don't know. So this here is the main sort of floor area of the carpet, and over here is the original. We don't know why it's such a difference in colour, but it is. Yeah, you flip the seat up, and there's some plugs down here, which we're going to, again, change and adapt a little bit to make it work. And you just sort of, I think you must just push it back quite dramatically and put it in there, potentially. It doesn't seem to want to go in, which is a little, oh no, there we go. Oh no, not like that. I think that needs a little bit of work. But supposedly that folds up like that and locks in, and then the cushions go in the middle. again, just needs a little bit of tweaking here, there and everywhere to make it work. Oh gosh. We also have the table, sparkly table, lovely. This is going to come off, and this comes out obviously to make space for the bed. There's another light up here, and we gained 5p in the light, so we're 5p up, which is always good. A little bit of storage in here, which has been sort of haphazardly painted as well on the inside. And then we think this up here is another socket. And then it's to the front of the room, front of the caravan. That's it. There's another storage section up there, and then that's it. And that's your view from the kind of front of the caravan. So it's small but perfectly formed. Let's head outside to look at the box. So on the front of the caravan is this large-ish storage box, and these little bits here on the chassis we're going to make use of for a little bit of extra storage, because we don't like this. There's currently gas and electrics and things for water all in this box. We're going to make, again, just it less green. Clean it up, take the spiders, take the dust and stuff out of it, and use it as a storage space, but maybe just make it just electric. Store the gas elsewhere, and then just have a few other little tools and stuff. Again, this doesn't shut very well. I'm going to make some changes to it just to make it work. And I think with said changes, this is going to be a pretty amazing little thing. And I'm very excited to have some adventures in it.
Welcome aboard then, our little pink project, and we thought at this point in the video we'd probably just better off explain why we've actually gone ahead and bought a caravan, because it's not every single day you go out there and decide, yes, I'm going to buy one.
Yeah, it's not something you don't want to win.
No, but I think we have our reasons, and I think they're good reasons, to be perfectly honest, because it fits quite nicely in what we do here with the YouTube channel, as well as our own personal interests of going camping and going on holiday to all these different places.
Yes. I think it's something that we, or more caravans and caravan holidays and road trips, are something that we kind of bonded over when we first met. That we said that we wanted to build one or go on road trips and go around the UK, especially talking that we just had a major lockdown and all of this sort of stuff, and we were very limited to where we could go. I think we both found that quite a fascinating idea, and it was something that we were drawing up pictures and things with 3-4 weeks of knowing each other, I think, which is quite interesting when we're now sat in a caravan. And initially, like I say, we did want to build a caravan rather than buy one.
Yeah.
And I think you're probably the best person to
go
into the bit more of the detail of that, because as much as I wanted to do it and I understood the logistics and the things that went into it, Jake was very much more the
practical-minded sort of that sort of thing.
You're the outside builder kind of thing. I was a lot more internal and could speak a bit more from experience in terms of actually storage and what you needed and that kind of thing from caravanning holidays when I was younger.
Yeah. So, just to help explain the points, we were going to build a teardrop. Here's one I made earlier. We were going to look at building a teardrop because they were incredibly popular back during the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever.
Yeah. And
they were designed to be pulled by cars of that era. So think along the lines of the classic Fiat 500, the Beetle, the Mini, even the Morris Minor. Just cars like that. And I thought, why don't we build a teardrop? Because we wanted it to be able to be pulled by the Mini, because arguably the Mini was the car we took most to the shows last year. And of course I've already got a tow bar on the Mini. I've used it to pull my trailer to several events. I think we did Minis in the Gorge with it this year.
We did a couple, yeah.
And I've done IMM previously and things like that. But, I've got a tow bar on it, may as well use it. So we looked at building a teardrop. I made up a couple of models. We've got one here and there's a couple of others down there, which I'll show in a minute. But this one was 10 by 5 foot, was not going to work, going to be way too heavy and massively expensive with materials, because no matter how much you buy, it's always going to cost you a lot. Yeah. Plus also, it turns out in the UK, it is quite difficult to find a 10-foot piece of wood or aluminium or whatever materials you might want to use. So we went down the slightly smaller route with this one, which would pop out, which would actually be rather cool and unique. but again, it would just be too heavy really for the Mini to cope with. The Mini's only got a towing weight capacity of about 400 kilos, which is not really a lot when it comes to towing. Although it is the same, interestingly, as an MG3 for you MG3 fans out there. And that's braked. So eventually we looked at maybe doing a more traditional style of one with a more curved front. We'd have storage here, room for a toilet, because if we're going for long weekends away, we don't really want to have to
use the composting toilets.
Use the composting toilet, which
I think a composting toilet experience in July of last year put us off completely. And,
yeah,
a toilet is the way forwards.
Yes, I mean we've already got one
yeah.
from going camping anyway, but you know it's little things like that which you don't usually think about otherwise, and so we wanted it to be spacious enough for us both to have to sleep in, to have a kitcheny area as well, and obviously the toilet on board. But this sort of developed because we ended up going to so many events last year. We went to hotels and we ended up camping as well, and needless to say the prices did add up quite quickly, especially when you're looking at a hotel every week plus an event cost.
Yeah.
Which was fine last year.
Yeah, for a year it was fine, and I think sometimes as well we had to, due to jobs, or my job more than anything at the time, we also had to miss out on that additional night of both due to cost of hotels and also, like I say, with work, of having to come home again. We missed out on that slightly more social element, as well as not being able to go up the previous night necessarily because of the cost of the hotel in that instance. But with something like the teardrop, or with this caravan, it means that we can do those sort of things and go up and spend a bit more time with the friends that we have made through going to shows and having cars, which I think is really exciting. That's something that I'm quite looking forward to, actually.
Yeah, we've made quite a few friends throughout 2021 and 2020 as well, with me obviously before I met you. But, we made quite a few friends out and about in the car scene, and we really want to obviously be more social with them rather than having to go, right, well, sorry, we've got to leave now because we've got another 3 hours drive, 4 hour drive home, whatever. So I think having something like this or like that was the way forward, which is why we decided to go down the caravan route. And as we got here, I even made models of it. These are all to scale. Every model I've shown so far, they're 1/10 scale, so this is how it would be. But then obviously we got the factor in that you and I both live at home with our parents.
Yep.
And
we didn't want to clutter up their garage with lots of things.
We already do, but
yeah, well, you do, I don't.
No.
But we also know that we're not particularly time rich in terms of actually having the time to build something. So unfortunately the idea of building something was quite quickly dismissed because we didn't want to clutter up the garage with materials. We didn't really have the money to build something from scratch, and we don't really have the time to do it when we're both working full-time jobs and having to do the travel and that kind of thing, as well as obviously wanting to spend time just with each other, going to the cinema or whatever, or going to see friends or spending time with family as well. So I think, the idea of building
went out the window quite quickly.
Yeah, as much as we would love to do it, and we would still love to do it, maybe kind of 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you and let you know how we feel about that one.
Yeah, so building went out the window, so that's when we started looking online to see if we could find a caravan which would quite honestly meet those needs of being able to be towed by the Mini, but just park it up and that's it. Mm-hmm. Yes, we could go camping, but setting up a tent every time you get there for about 45 minutes to an hour before you're even able to get into it, it does become very tiresome when you're doing it week in, week out.
And it's also, the Great British weather is another thing that goes against you when you're trying to set up a tent in the dark, in the rain, in the middle of August. It's sort of, it's kind of one of those things that, as well as trying to fit in the filming, because I know when we went to Castle Combe last year, it was the thing of, it was absolutely chucking it down with rain, Jake was still filming, people around me were collapsing tents with 5 or 6 of them, and I was there collapsing a tent by myself getting absolutely soaked. But no, it's one of those things that we don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't have to consider the rain, we don't have to do anything like that, because we can quite literally pull up, lift the door, sort the jockey wheel out, put the legs down and get in and go to bed if that's what we wanted to do.
And then reverse when we want to leave, so it's a lot easier for us in that sense. But yeah, doing all that, working all these costs out, it led us to buy this.
Yeah, social media is a wonderful thing when it comes to these things as well.
It is. We had a look for small caravans that the Mini could tow, and obviously you got your standard sort of larger caravan, which is going to be way too big and way too heavy for the Mini to tow, and honestly I wouldn't want to stress it too much.
Yeah.
Whereas something like this, which weighs about 200 kilograms as is, it's not too bad.
No, a little bit more obviously when it's fully packed, but
Yeah.
it's never going to have that much stuff in it because we're going for weekends. It's not going to be...
No.
Right now, we're not thinking of it as a car that we're going to go on holiday in or go on
No,
anything,
exactly.
any sort of week-long holiday will be reserved for a hotel or something more substantial. But it's, for now, it will do the
things we want to do.
let's finish work on a Friday night, get in the car, hitch the caravan, get in the car and go. And come back on Sunday. It's perfect. We couldn't ask for anything better.
No. And the fact is, because it can connect to the Mini, everything we've got can tow it. Your 500 cab,
Yep.
my Panda, the Renault.
Yep.
Even the Sandero, if we were to put a tow bar on it, anything can pull
Yep.
it, which is
The
brilliant.
lighter it is, the better it is as well, isn't it?
Yes, and so that sort of leads on to what's next for this, because
Yeah.
it is a project. It's not going to be done overnight. It's going to be a few months.
Yeah, it's not a year-long idea. We want to use it for show season this year, which obviously starts sort of April, May time.
Yeah.
But it is going to, we're talking, what are we now, middle of January. It's going to be our winter project for this year, I suppose. Our down season project for 2022 is this lovely pink
caravan, which I shall now call Dolores Umbridge, after the popular Harry Potter villain. It's not really a villain, but
she could quite arguably the most evil character in Harry Potter.
worse than Voldemort.
Oh yeah, worse than Voldemort.
Anyway. But yes, what we plan to do is maybe reupholster, change the base colour of it because it's pink, and pink is neither our colour of choice.
No.
Do a few little upgrades here and there, but we don't want to take away from the originality of it.
No.
This is one of the things that sort of attracted us to it. We like our quirky things.
Yes.
We like our rare and unique and niche things.
And also sort of traditional things. We're
Yeah.
quite traditional people.
We're old inside.
Yeah, we are. We're old souls, whether we like it or not.
No, so we're not going to go too far as to take everything away from it, but we are going to make it meet our needs,
Yes.
and also maybe modernise it in certain places without taking too much away from the originality.
I think changing electrics, changing some of the features which were already shown in the walk around, like the sink, as lovely as it is, I think it can do with an upgrade. The sink itself could probably stay, but the
unit
around it, and also the hob, because I think we're both just a little bit wary of how long that's been kicking around.
Yeah, but also, if we do change things like this, we are probably going to keep the originals, because it means one day, should we sell this, or if we sell it, or when we sell it, it just means you've got the originals put back in if any collectors want it. We don't want to take all that away from it.
No. Because also, this style of caravan is incredibly rare. There is very few. There is very few around, as far as we can tell. There's very little information about it. We can't find anything online, so if you are watching this and you do know anything about these, please leave a comment or send us an email or something if you've got any.
Or drop us a link on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or any of our social medias.
Yeah, get into contact with us, because I
Shameless
think...
plug.
Because, I mean, we'd love to see...
We'd like to get more
other
info
versions
on them.
and get some more information about it, because there is very, very little to nothing on there, apart from maybe one picture and a sort of forum from 2010. I think is all that we've found so far.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of them.
No, so I think keep making it our own, but keeping that traditional element because of its rarity, I think is very important to both of us.
Yes.
So things will be changed from cupboards and hobs to upholstery and
the carpet or floors.
But I think generally, from an outsider's perspective, things will look not really very different between now and when we're finished in the end of April.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Even if we're not fully finished, it'll still be sleepable.
Yeah, as long as we can sleep in it, we'll be fine.
Yes.
Just might be a bit cold.
Yeah. So if you're interested in seeing how this project develops, for those who have been long-time viewers of the channel, no, it's not taking over everything. It's just going to be done as and when something can be done, because we're not going to be able to do things quickly. We know this. We've got obviously things outside of YouTube, and time is against us. Yes, those. So, yes, if you're interested, please don't forget to hit subscribe, because there's plenty more videos on this coming along. But we are obviously still going to be doing reviews and show walkarounds and everything else like we always have done on this channel. So those aren't going away for anyone thinks we're suddenly a caravan channel. We're not.
No, it's just a short-term for long-term gain situation.
A small piece in a bigger picture, basically.
Yeah, and I think if you do want to see a little bit more of the more frequent things, if this is what interests you, then do follow on Instagram and the other social medias, but probably Instagram mostly. That will be the more frequent uploads of even just a story about that we've bought something to go on it, or we've got some, I don't know, some lights, or we've picked the fabric or something like that. That is where it's going to be in terms of those little updates.
Yes, I think so.
But yeah, I think other than that,
I think that sort of brings this video to an end, doesn't it, really? Because I think we both waffled on enough about the caravan and how brilliant it is and everything else.
But we do really love it. I think kind of as soon as we saw it, we were both convinced that it was like,
this is the
right thing. It's going to do us really well.
It's pink, but it's the right choice.
And we're excited to see quite literally where it's going to take us.
Work for us then on the little pink project caravan starts tomorrow, but you'll see that in a couple of weeks' time when actually we get time to upload it and everything else and edit it, because it's not going to be a quick process, as we said. But I'm really looking forward to this project. It's something, as we said, we wanted to do for a while, and I think it's going to benefit not only us in our personal lives, but also you guys who are sat home watching this channel on your TV or your phone or tablet or whatever, PC, because you're going to get more content out of it as well.
Yeah. Both from the caravan itself and from the shows it's going to take us to.
Yes, exactly.
So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it is completely free. If you would like to see a little bit more of this lovely pink caravan and the cars that are featured on the channel. And I think other than that, it's just time to say thank you for watching and farewell.